Welcome to a new video which is about angles and angles in lines. I will show you terminologies used in this topic, and after that we will take a look at the types of angles in intersecting lines and solve relevant questions. If this is your first time here and if you want to support this channel, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell to turn on the notifications to be aware of the upcoming videos. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started. Okay guys, here we see that there are basically 4 different types of angles. In the first one we have straight angle. So if this angle is 180 degree, then this angle, which is x, is called a straight angle. If the angle is greater than 90 degree, like we have the case here, then that angle is called obtuse angle. And if the angle is 90 degree, then the angle is called right angle. And if the angle is between 0 and 90 degree, actually, in other words, if it is less than 90 degree, and that angle is called acute angle. And we have a question and it says identify the given angles below. Well, for the first one, 110 degree, of course, that angle is between 90 and 180. So that is why it is an obtuse angle. And for 90 degree, of course, it is a right angle. And for 30 degree, it is an acute angle. 150 degree, well, it is a, of course, obtuse angle. And 70 degree, it is between 0 and 90. And that is why it is acute angle. And for 180 degrees, of course, that is a straight angle, guys. And we have also complementary angles and supplementary angles. If the summation of 2 angles, like we have here, x and y, and if that summation is 90 degree, and then those angles are called complementary angles. And if the summation of 2 angles, like we have here, x and y, and if that summation is 180 degree, then those angles are called supplementary angles. By the way, this symbol means angle, okay? Once we say EZF, if you follow that direction from E, and then look at Z, and then F, okay? This angle is called X. So this is X actually. And if you follow this line, DZE, okay? This is D, and this is Z in the center or at the origin. And this is E. The angle which is between, which is Y here, that angle is actually Y. If you look at here, CZB, okay? And this is C, Z is at the origin, and B is on the right, so this angle means the angle X. So instead of CZB angle, we can just write X. Once you read this AZC, this is A, this is Z at the origin, and then this is C. So that angle is actually Y angle. So instead of angle AZC, you can write Y as well. And let's take a look at our first question. And it says, if EZF angle is X and DZE angle is Y, actually we can already see them here. This is Y and this is X, okay? X and Y are complementary angles. That means we are already given that X plus Y is equal to 90 degree, guys. And there is another relation is given to us as X is equal to 2Y plus 15. And in this case, what is the value of X? Well, this is a system of linear equations actually. We can solve it into 2 ways. One way is right now we can just use substitution method, okay? In other words, we can put 2y plus 15 instead of x here. So instead of x, I'm going to write 2y plus 15, okay? And then plus another y is 19. We have 2y here, and plus one more y is going to be 3y is equal to, guys, I have here positive 15, and I just send it to the other side to make it negative. So it's going to be 90 minus negative. For the people who don't know what I did here, I recommend you to take a look at one of my previous videos about shortcuts in calculations, okay? So I'll continue at the upper right. So we're going to have 3y is 90 minus 15, we're going to have 75. And from here, we need to leave y alone. How? Divide both sides by the number that is in front of y, which is 3, guys. And once you do it, these will be gone, and y is going to be alone, so y is 25 in this case. We found y, but we are asked to find the value of x. So if you put 25 instead of y here, x was 2y plus 15, so it's going to be 2 times 25 plus 15, guys. So it's going to be 50 plus 15, and it's gonna be 65, guys. So we're gonna have x as 65 in this case. And we have another question, guys. This is x angle and this is angle y, and x and y are supplementary angles. That means, guys, x plus y should be equal to 180. And we are given another relation as y minus x is equal to 20. I'm gonna just write it as negative x plus y is equal to 20, guys. And then we have two linear equations. Actually, this is a system of linear equation with two variables. And because we are asked to find the value of x, if you add them side by side, then we're going to lose x variable. But I just want to keep x variable, so I just want to eliminate y variable here. If I multiply the second equation by -1, then I'm going to just change their signs, okay? And then once I do it, it's going to be positive x, but negative y, okay? And on the right side, I'm going to have -20 as well. And now if you add them side by side, those y's will be gone. So we're going to have 2x on the left. On the right, we're going to have 180 minus 20. We're going to have 160, guys. And we need to leave x alone in the next step. How? Divide both sides by the number that is in front of x, which is 2. And then once you do it, those will be gone. X will be alone. So x is going to be, guys, 80 in this case. Here, guys, also we have other terminologies like corresponding angles, vertical angles, alternate interior, alternate exterior angles. Suppose that x and y, those lines are parallel to each other, okay? Once this line, which is x line, and once this line, which is called y line, they are parallel to each other, then we can use that symbol, okay? This symbol in the middle, in some books it is this symbol, or it might be this symbol, okay? That symbol is called parallel symbol. So we see that x is parallel to the y, okay? And then z is a transversal, okay? Because it intersects x and y, okay? So in that case, we can say that z is a transversal. And suppose that we have a case like that, okay? And z intersects x and y lines. And in this case, if you look at the corresponding angles, angle A, which is right here, is equal to the angle E. As you can see, those angles are looking at in the same direction, okay? We can say that A is on the up left, E is also looking at to the left side. So these are called corresponding angles. And similarly, B and F, they are looking at in the same direction as well. That is why these are equal to each other. So D is equal to H. So because D is right here, okay, H is right here. So because they are looking at the same direction, they are equal to each other as well. And C, which is right here, okay, we can say that C is looking like southeast, and G is looking also southeast. So C and G, they are equal to each other as well. Okay, let me clean the boards. For vertical angles, which are also called vertically opposite angles, those angles are equal to each other as well. For example, A and C, okay, those are equal to each other. B and D, those angles are vertical angles as well. E and G, they are equal. F and H, they are equal as well. And for alternate interior, D is equal to F. So D is right here and F is right here. Why? Because X and Y, they are already parallel to each other. So those lines which are D and F, they are called alternate interior. And these are also equal to each other. Similarly, C, angle C right here, is equal to the angle E as well. And for alternate exterior, A is equal to the G. So because A is right here and that is equal to that G. And similarly, B is equal to H. B is right here and H is equal to right here, guys. So let's take a look at the applications of these properties. And we have another question, guys. In the question it says L1, L stands for line, okay? L1 means line 1, and we have line 2 here, which is abbreviated as L2, and L3 stands for line 3. So in the question, we are given that all of those three lines are parallel to each other, and in this case, the angle OAB, which is right here, okay, that is already 60. And angle AOD, which is right here, and that is also equal to 60. And in this case, what is the value of angle EOD which is right here, x. Okay, so we're asked to find the value of that x. In such questions, guys, always I recommend you to extend the lines. Okay, so if you extend this line, if you just, okay, suppose this is a straight line, okay, doesn't look like straight, but suppose it is a straight line. Right now we have a triangle. Okay, we should know that sum of the interior angles in a triangle is 180, guys, and that angle is already 60, and that angle is already 60. So of course that angle has to be 60 as well, right? This has to be 60, because 60 plus 60 plus 60, that is 180, guys. And because those angles are known, so the unknown angle has to be 60 as well. I can understand that this angle is 60, because if you look at here, let's say this is y, that y plus 60 has to be equal to 180, guys. Why? Because they are supplementary angles. 60 plus y is 180. And from here, it's not difficult to see that y has to be equal to 120, guys. So this y has to be 120. And as you can see, that y and x, they are corresponding angles, guys. So they have to be equal to each other as well. Y is equal to x. In other words, x also has to be equal to 120, guys. Or what you can do is, let me clean the question. Again, extend this. We found that this is 60. And if this is 60, okay, extend this L2 line as well. So this is 60, and that angle should be 60 as well. Why? Because these are alternate interior angles. And if that angle is 60, x has to be 120. Why? Because 60 plus x, they are supplementary angles as well. So we can understand from here that it is also 120. This is the second way of solving this question. And let's continue with the next question. And in this question also, guys, we see that L1, which is the line 1, okay, is parallel to the L2, which is line 2. And those angles are 140 and 150. They are given to us, and we are asked to find the value of x. Again, in such questions, guys, always extend these lines. Suppose that I am drawing another parallel line, okay, here it doesn't look straight, but suppose it is a straight. Say this is L3, guys, and again extend this line. Again, in such questions, guys, I always recommend you to extend the lines. So because we have here 140, okay, that angle has to be 40. Why? Because these are supplementary angles, and because that angle is 40, that part should be 40 as well. Why? Because these are alternate interior angles, and because this is 40, and then the total is 150. So suppose this is a, so a plus 40 has to be equal to 150. And then in this case we see that a is of course 110. Why? Because just send this to the other side, make it negative, so it's going to be a is 150 minus 40, which is 110 degree, guys. So we see that this a is 110, guys. So because this is 110 and that is 110 as well, and because 110 plus x has to be equal to 180 because they are supplementary angles, 110 plus x has to be equal to 180. Just send this 110 to the right, make it negative. X is going to be 180 minus 110, and that is going to give us the value as 70, guys. So in this case, x is 70 degree. And let's take a look at our last question in this video. And this is our last question, guys. Here, this is also line 1, which is abbreviated as L1, and this is L2 also. And here we're given L1 is parallel to the L2. So in this case, what is the value of y? If you look at here, okay, that angle, which is 3x minus 25, and that angle, which is 2x plus 5, they have to be equal to each other. Why? Because they are alternate interior. Okay, if you look at here, they are alternate interior, like C and E, right? And D and F. D is right here and F is right here. So because they are alternate angles, they have to be equal to each other. In other words, 3x minus 25 has to be equal to 2x plus 5, guys. And now I have a first order equation with one unknown. How we can solve this question? Well, we can keep the unknowns on one side and the knowns on the other side. And to do that, I want to keep x values on the left and the numbers on the right. So let's send this 2x to the left, and once we do it, we're going to have 3x minus 2x. Why? Because here it was positive 2x and now it becomes negative 2x. And I want to send this negative 25 to the right as well. On the left, it was negative 25. On the right, it's going to be positive 25. So 5 plus 25. And the left side is going to be x, and the right side is going to be 30, guys. So I found x value. And if I look at the angle C here, it says x plus 45, which means if you add 30 to 45, it's going to be 75, guys. And if that angle is 75, again, because this angle is equal to that angle, because they are alternate interiors, okay? So that has to be equal to 75 as well. And 75 plus y has to be equal to 180. Why? Because they are supplementary angles. So y plus 75 is equal to 180. And if you send this 75 to the right, it's going to be negative 75. So y is going to be 180 minus 75. If this is the case, and then y is 105, guys. Again, for the people who don't know how I send the numbers from left to right, from right to left, I recommend you to look at one of my previous videos about shortcuts in calculations. This question was the last question in this video. What I can tell you is, in such questions, guys, always extend the lines, okay? Especially when you see intersecting points, it's gonna make your job easier to find the solution. That's it about this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the upcoming videos.